Hi, grade 7 students. Welcome back to our science class. Get ready with the following materials. Your interactive science textbook, copybook, workbook, pen or pencil, highlighter, earphone. Are you ready for the lesson? Then follow your science textbook pages 542 to 545. Chapter 14, A Trip Through Geologic Time. Lesson 5, Early Earth. Now let us to check our lesson objectives. Explain how Earth developed during Precambrian time. New words in this lesson: comet, now let us to check the review of the lesson. How did Earth form? When the solar system settled into its current layout about 4.6 billion years ago, Earth formed when gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become the third planet from the Sun. Like its fellow terrestrial planets, Earth has a central core, a rocky mantle, and a solid crust. Formation of Earth's atmosphere. As Earth cooled, an atmosphere formed mainly from gases spewed from volcanoes. It included hydrogen sulfate, methane, and 10 to 200 times as much carbon dioxide as today's atmosphere. After about half a billion years, Earth's surface cooled and solidified enough for water to collect on it. Comet. A comet is a ball of dust, gas, and ice that orbits the Sun. How did Earth form? Using radioactive dating, scientists have determined that the oldest rock ever found on Earth are about 4 billion years old. But scientists think Earth formed even earlier than that. The age of Earth. According to these scientist hypotheses, the moon formed from material knocked loose when a very young Earth collided with another object. This means Earth and the moon are about the same age. Scientists have used radioactive dating to find the age of moon rocks that astronauts brought back to Earth. The oldest moon rocks are about 4.6 billion years old. Scientists infer that Earth is also roughly 4.6 billion years old, only a little older than those moon rocks. Look at the diagram. You can see the moon rocks in the diagram. Let us to check how Earth gets its present shape. Earth takes shape. Scientists think that Earth began as a ball of dust, rock and ice in space. Gravity pulled this mass together. As Earth grew larger, its gravity increased, pulling in more dust, rock and ice nearby. The energy from collisions with these materials raised Earth's temperature until the planet was very hot. Scientists think that Earth may have become so hot that it melted. Look at the diagram. You can see how the Earth gets its present shape. Denser materials sank towards the center, forming Earth's dense iron core. Less dense, molten material hardened over time to form Earth's outer layers, the solid crust and mantle. Formation of Earth's atmosphere. Early Earth may have included light gases such as hydrogen and helium. Then the sun released a strong burst of particles called the solar wind. Earth's gravity could not hold the light gases, and the solar wind blew away Earth's first atmosphere. Look at the diagram. You can see the hydrogen and helium gases releasing to the space. It's called the first atmosphere. After Earth lost its first atmosphere, a second atmosphere formed. Volcanic eruptions and collisions with comets added carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen and other gases to the atmosphere. Look at the diagram. You can see the ammonia, carbon dioxide and water molecules in the second atmosphere. A comet. Comet is a ball of dust, gas and ice that orbit the sun. Figure shows the first and second atmosphere and comet. Formations of oceans on Earth. At first, Earth's surface was too hot for water to remain a liquid. All water remained as water vapor. As Earth's surface cooled, The water vapor began to condense to form rain. Look at the diagram. You can see the formation of Earth's oceans. Of gassing water vapor from volcano and join that the gases and form different molecules such as water vapor, nitrogen and ammonia, such and such things. These water molecules take place the condensation process and finally it precipitates as rain. The rainwater gradually accumulated and formed oceans. The oceans absorbed much of the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in such a way that the oceans are formed on the earth. Formation of continents. During early Precambrian time, much of Earth's rock cooled and hardened. Less than 500 million years after Earth formed, the rock at the surface formed continents. Scientists have found that the continents move very slowly over Earth's surface because of forces inside the Earth. Over billions of years, Earth land masses have repeatedly formed, broken apart, and then crashed together again. Now let us to discuss early organisms on Earth. Scientists cannot pinpoint when or where life began on Earth. But scientists have found fossils on single-celled organisms in rocks that formed about 3.5 billion years ago. Scientists think that all other forms of life on Earth arose from these simple organisms. The bacteria. Dr. Eisenbach's studies are probably similar to these early organisms. About 2.5 billion years ago, many organisms began using energy from the sun to make food. This process is called photosynthesis. One waste product of photosynthesis is oxygen. As organisms released oxygen, the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere slowly grew up. Some oxygen changed into a form called ozone. The atmosphere developed an ozone layer that blocked the ultraviolet rays from the sun. Shielded from these rays, organisms could live on land. We discussed many things in this lesson. Now let us to summarize our lesson. When the solar system settled into its current layout about 4.5 billion years ago, Earth formed when gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become the third planet from the sun. As Earth cooled, an atmosphere formed, mainly from gases spewed from volcanoes. It included hydrogen sulfate, methane, and 10 to 200 times as much carbon dioxide as today's atmosphere. Over vast periods of time, our primitive oceans formed. Water remained as gas until the earth cooled below 212 degrees Fahrenheit. At this time, about 3.8 billion years ago, the water condensed into rain, which filled the basins that are now our oceans. The first organisms. Bacteria have been the very first organisms to live on Earth. They made their appearance 3 billion years ago in the waters of the first oceans. At first, there were only anaerobic heterotrophic bacteria. Now let us to check few questions in this lesson. When did our solar system begin to form? Describe the first real atmosphere of Earth. What elements were found and what put those elements into the atmosphere? How did oceans form? When did life on Earth form? What was it? Now let us to check the lesson follow up. Log in the website www.pearsonrealize.com. Do the lesson quiz. This is the time to sign off our video. We discuss many things in this lesson named as early Earth. I hope that you enjoy and learned many things from this video. Thank you for watching my video. Once again, thank you so much. Once again, thank you for watching my video. Good luck.